Frankly, folks, at this stage, it's becoming quite comical. Except that it's sad. The intentional insults and slights, the endless smears and lies that come out of Pretoria and the ruling government there just beggar the imagination. The latest one here is, of course, Sir Ramaphosa sitting around with SABC executives. I understand that's who was there, talking about things, and they start laughing and chuckling about bad things happening. Obviously, a direct insult to President Trump.
Because as you know, there are a lot of very bad things happening. Very bad things.
Terrible things.
Terrible things happening.
It's a disgrace.
Look, you can accuse President Trump of hyperbole and overstating things, and you would be on to something very valid. But the bottom line is President Trump's actions are what matter, not his hyperbole and his over-the-top speech. The actions are what matter. And the actions have not been actions that have abused South Africa. It's been quite the opposite. South Africa has done that. And South Africa's actions against the United States just continue to pile up. Now, this comes on top of Ramaphosa yesterday chuckling outside of a meeting hall, coming out, and a journalist doesn't even ask a question, makes some stupid statement. You have to question whether these people are actually journalists. You're not going to be intimidated. He didn't even say, are you? Not even a question. You won't be intimidated. To which he chuckled and said, no, we won't be intimidated.
Well, without the United States, the whole process of the G20 is moving forward.
You will not be bullied.
We will not be bullied. We will not agree to be bullied. Thank you.
The correct answer in that situation for a head of state would have been, what are you talking about? We're a sovereign nation. The United States is a sovereign nation. No one's intimidating us. We're not intimidating anyone. We just have differences of opinion, and we'll resolve them. That would have been the right answer. No. And of course, that is just one thing that's happened this week. Also see Sir Ramaphosa misleading the world, stating that the United States was planning to now participate in some way, shape, or other in the G20 summit, which is nonsense.
We have received notice from the United States, a notice which we are still in discussions with them over, about a change of mind about participating in one shape, form, or other in the summit.
Because there is not a shift. The United States is not participating in official talks at the G20 in South Africa.
Trump said they're not coming, and they're not coming. And of course, all that comes on the tail of Ronald Lamola, the foreign minister, the man who said, we'll take farms from white people. Yeah, remember that when he was a justice minister? Yeah, he said, well, we couldn't amend the Constitution. That was just one way to take their land. We'll take it through just a simple majority by passing a law. The Minister of Justice talking about passing a law incongruent with the Constitution in violation of Section 25. And now he's been rewarded. Now he is the foreign minister, the director of international relations and cooperation. And on Sunday, November 16th, 2025, just days before the summit began, when the secondary conferences and business and things that are tied to it, the ancillary conferences are all taking place, what goes on? He goes on CNN and says that Donald Trump is a white supremacist.
That is fear-mongering to pursue the agenda of white supremacy.
You think Trump is pursuing a white supremacist agenda?
Yes, I think so.
Of course, this follows earlier in the year when we see Ibrahim Rasool in a Zoom session say the United States is racist and that Donald Trump is the leader of a global white supremacist movement. And of course, all of this comes after this starts in 2018. If you want to go back to the antecedent roots of where we're at right now, this relationship between Ramaphosa and the United States, go to 2018 when Ramaphosa sat in front of a microphone in New York on the side of the United Nations conference when he told Bloomberg News, there are no farm murders in South Africa. There are no farmers being murdered. There are no white farmers being murdered. Bold-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. Every country has farmers murdered. What a stupid statement to make. There are farmers murdered in America. Rural insecurity happens, but only a handful now and then, not the grave crisis unfolding in South Africa, which the government denies. So this is just the latest intentional insult. I mean, if Trump strikes back, it wouldn't be surprising. Cyril Ramaphosa obviously has nothing but contempt for the President of the United States. His actions and his words say it all. Frankly, he has nothing but contempt for America, and for that matter, he has nothing but contempt for South Africans. He's yet to answer for the $580,000 smuggled into South Africa illegally and stored in a couch cushion at his game ranch at Palapala years ago. No criminal charges, no criminal investigation that we're aware of publicly. All we have is a mealy-mouthed majority ANC parliament de facto pushing through saying that, well, he didn't commit any ethics violations of parliament. Well, of course he committed ethics violations, but that isn't the issue here. Nothing but disdain for everybody, including South Africans. All he cares about are caters, members of his elite patronage network that keep him in power. The rest of you all can go eat cake, assuming you can find cake in South Africa. Wow. Get ready for the fire and brimstone, folks. There's been plenty of insults from South Africa directed at the U.S. this week. And the irony is the South African media and Washington media carrying the water for the ANC. CNN, the Washington Post, at least the New York Times has reported events accurately, but others simply refuse to report the truth. All these publications in South Africa are lying about what's going on here. Op-eds coming left and right, distorting the facts, misleading, talking about we need a leader, who's involved in global peace. Donald Trump has ended more conflicts than any world leader since the Second World War. But these editorial boards and these so-called journalists, these pontificators who claim to be experts in these issues, are just talking out the backside, all providing top cover for an abysmal behavior approach by South Africa's politicians. They're intentionally insulting America. They want to play the victim. Either that or they're arrogant beyond belief. South Africa is a sovereign nation. It has the right to do what it likes to do as long as it's not impinging upon its neighbors. But if you think that you're going to get aid or you're going to get support for IMF and World Bank or African Development Bank loans from America when you continue to insult our country, we don't have 145 race-based laws. You do. We don't exclude our ethnic minorities. You do. We may have a history of that, but so do you, but we don't do that. Unbelievable. The insults just keep coming. Let's see what else Cyril Ramaphosa and Ronald Lamola can do to insult America and Donald Trump over the weekend. I'm sure there'll be plenty. They'll team up with Ursula von der Leyen and they'll come up with something to insult America. And they say Trump's the one that's disrupting the world order. No, this stupidity is what's disrupting it. Refusing to accept our charge d'affaires in violation of norms of the Vienna Conventions and diplomatic protocols. That's an insult of unbelievably high magnitude. And seeing the agriculture minister and others call him a junior diplomat. The man has got more time in diplomacy in more countries in the world than somebody who can't pay their credit card bills. Yeah, or the 30% crowd at the ANC. This is sad. So sad. So much could have been accomplished. And they just pissed it all down the drain. Meh.